have a client that told me last year, he says, Patrick, you got to tell everybody about this because I had no idea that this could happen. So this is what happened. Lots of times in the fall, the leaves are falling on the roof, or even in June, the pollinizers fall on the roof, and the landscapers are there blowing everything up, and they look up on the roof and the valleys may be full of tree debris, or the roof is a low enough pitch, a shallow enough pitch that they thought, well, if I just go up there and blow that off, then I can clean up the grounds and it won't look messy after I leave. All in total service, kindness, generosity mode. Well, this client had a really nice house in the West Hills, and he just loved his yard guy. He loved him. And the guy goes, I'm going to go up there and blow that roof off and it'll look beautiful and I'll get the yard cleaned up. The guy goes, great. Sounds good. Well, he didn't realize, but that gave the landscaper permission to go up on his roof. So the landscaper got his little tripod ladder and he went up there, set it sideways to the gutter and got up on the roof. But when he got up to the top of the ladder fell. And on the way down, he caught his leg in the rung, snapped his lower leg, landed on his head, broke his neck, broke his collarbone, and cracked 3 ribs. And the guy comes around the corner and the guy is just laying there, and he calls the ambulance. They haul him to the hospital emergency room, and he doesn't have workers' comp because he owns his own company. Doesn't have to carry it on himself. The homeowner is just like, oh man, I can't believe I'm so sorry. What can I do to help? Well, about a month later, he gets this lawsuit papers that the family of this young landscaper who's having to pay all these bills is suing him. The guy took it to court saying, hey, you know, I shouldn't be liable for this. And he lost his house. He had a $980,000 home, and he lost it in the lawsuit because to pay for the medical bills. This guy can't work anymore, but the family ends up having to take care of him, so they're going to come after the money. So the moral of the story is you got to be careful who you give permission to get up on your roof, because the fact is 90 to 95% of all roof accidents happen getting on and off the roof on a ladder. That's where everybody falls. So when you give permission, you haven't got approval from your homeowner's policy, so they're not covering anything. He doesn't have workers' comp or insurance that'll cover him on his side. So you are 100% liable for anything that happens to people that you say get up on your roof that aren't a licensed and bonded and insured contractor to get on your roof. Gutter people may not be insured to get on roofs, or they may be, but you can check it out. Go to Oregon State Contractors Board. Anybody that's serving you has a license number by law. You can put in their license number and you can go and see if they have workers' comp on themselves or their employees. If they're insured, you can also call your insurance company and say, hey, if I give my landscaper permission to go up on my roof, will you guys cover them? And if they say yes, get it in writing. I need a rider attached to my policy that says, if I give anybody permission to get on my roof, they're covered. If you have that, then you're protected. Anything short of that, you have exposed yourself to losing your home. So I really told this client of mine, I said, I'm going to tell everybody that I can to be super careful of what they decide to have, what they decide to do as far as letting people on their roof, because it could be a big loss, $1 million loss as it was in this case. Protect yourself. Don't do that. As nice as he is, as nice as a gesture it is, as nice as the roof and the home will look, don't do it. Make sure you're protected. Insurance is your only protection on this situation. All of our guys that work for us as employees are covered by workers' comp, and we also have a general liability policy with an umbrella of $2 million to protect your estate and your exposure as a client. So if you use Roof Life of Oregon, you don't have any exposure. Everything's covered. We make sure our guys are trained, they have their safety gear, and if something does happen, we have the insurance to back it up. So no exposure on your part as a client.